place. Someone flicks me a back body. So, it's another one, yeah. It's a full strand, yeah. Oh, it's another one, yeah.
Good evening, welcome to iBoxingHub. I go by the name of Biyenge. Remember, guys, if you're new to this channel, share, subscribe, and like. Featuring yours truly, Trey, and our special guest, Richard Blackwood. What's good, bro?
I'm all right. Yeah, that's a good picture.
We had to just. You know what? I had to make sure because look, your family, man. I had to make sure we get a nice picture.
No, let me tell you something. I actually had to go back through my phone and go, hold on a minute. That picture's a bit heavy. You know what I mean? Like it could get a rerun on the Instagram. Like I don't think it posted it at the right time to get the. That looks like it's supposed to get more likes than it actually got. Do you know what I mean? Wide away, Chris, stop folding your arms like that. I know what you're trying to do, right? I know Chris is doing that. He's doing that so he can get the bulge. Just keep your arms separate, innit?
This is natural. This is just natural. I'm not even trying nothing. I'm not even flexing. Look.
You know what? This is the battle between the bodybuilders right now, man.
I'm just taking it easy on him because I'm all right. Like there's a lot of stuff going on over here, but that's why I'm relaxed. I'm letting my muscles rest.
As well, what's the odds of you two both wearing a black vest today? What? You didn't give me the headlight.
Exactly. But you are in black though. You are in black as well.
I'm representing right now, man. But no, you got to do the intro, man. This is special right now, man.
Boy, where do I start? 30 years in the game, 30 plus years in the game.
31 years.
Well-known comedian all over the world.
Thank you.
Also featured in EastEnders, Hollyoaks, Shrek.
That's right. Pictures. Yeah. No,
I'm ready. We come ready, you know. Like, come on, your family.
Wait.
We come ready.
I've got to say, this is very professional. I wasn't expecting, first of all, the first picture with me all in the white. Then you got a picture from that picture, right? That suit's going to get brought back out again. Then you had my EastEnders picture.
Yes.
Right? I actually remember filming that scene. It was very cold that day. I was vexed.
Nah, you look sharp, man. You look sharp, man. Now, big up to everyone in the chat as well right now. Cuz, continue with the intro, man. Sorry, I got distracted.
Sorry,
man.
that was me. My fault. Sorry, go ahead.
I was actually done. But yeah, so
Wow.
yours truly, Richard Blackwood.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So Rich,
yes,
thank you for your time. Just a few questions regarding boxing. As you know, the upcoming heavyweight next week, Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk. Just want to know your thoughts and your prediction.
So for people that are not familiar, myself and Chris, we always have this discussion on our phone, right? Hold on, Chris, don't muck about.
I'm not gonna lie, that picture Chris was looking bigger, man. I'm not gonna lie, man.
Yeah.
in that, I think that was Chris heavyweight mode.
Let's
right
be
there,
honest,
man. Very close.
Chris, you was looking very muscular back then. I don't know what you was eating, but you need to have another portion of it now, because that
BBC, man, that's the nickname, innit, back in the days, man. BBC, man, Big Black Chris.
The weirdest thing is you can't use that title no more. Now it's used for all wrong things. And I know you're a Christian.
Yeah. You ready though, man.
You could not go back to church with that title anymore. They won't let you in, and you will get anointed. You get holy water dashed in your face at the door. Right? Do you know what I mean? I'm just saying, BBC Chris, nah. But what I'm saying is back to because please, you gotta let me know when you do these pictures. I'm not ready. I'm laying down. I'm not feeling that well, and you hit me with the hard pictures from yesteryear. I got to prepare myself for the levels.
Nah, bro, right? your levels. You're like a world champion right now, bro, man. Like this is your family. It's a blessing.
Yeah,
I just wanted to make sure we come, correct for you, man. So big up to you, man.
I ain't gonna lie.
Oh yeah, wait. Let me remind you of this moment as well, man. This is my last thing that I'm gonna do today. This was actually at Chris's wedding, man. So big up to Chris. Chris is obviously with your sister. to Lisa. So I'm gonna show you a bit of a magic. I don't know if you remember this.
Slow down, brother. Slow down. Let's see what you're weird. Let's stand there for a second and bossy that ambiance. We can play. I know that's not from here. I know. There's only two places where they're from. I've heard the whole heck of one of them. There are two places you could have got that from. Over the same country, but I'm just saying, you are looking serious.
No. Do you know what? They got that for free as well. I didn't even charge them. They got that set for free. That's my sister right there. That's love. Because I was doing stand-up for free. I don't do it for free. I never do it for free. Right? But my sister, I love her to death, my baby sister, and Chris, love Chris to death. So, you know what I mean? They got that. Anybody else that was watching that, you got to pay for that. But they, right? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, you see, that's why he's got his hand up, because he didn't need to part with no cash. Right? Do you know what I mean? Right? You know what I mean? He was feeling good that day. They were both like, right, you know, they're laying down going, you know, we're going for free, innit? like
You know what? And I had to get my, I had to get the joke. But look, I loved it, man.
But that fit was heavy. Your fit was heavy. You see why? You see, look what he's Chris. You see how Chris is trying to take it away from you now with his arms. Why are you doing that?
I'm just chilling. Listen, I've asked you a question. I've asked you a question about boxing. You know, chatting about.
No, but I'm giving him these props, saying these fit look good. Then all of a sudden you're tensing your arms. What's that?
I haven't said I'm not tensing. I'm relaxed.
It's normal. Look, this is just normal in the family. Trust me.
Right? Because you right now are acting like Jermaine Jackson and he's Michael Jackson. We got to work on what's going on. You're afraid he's gonna go solo. That's why you keep doing your arms like this. Right? He's trying to make sure that you never lose yourself, you know, brother. That's what's happening. Right? He's letting you know that he writes the songs. This is what he's doing. But that's okay.
Listen. I just want to know.
His shoulders are creamed as well, you know. He's got the shoulders creamed. You're oiled down the shoulders. You're ready. Why have you got glasses on in the house?
Do you know what? I'll explain myself. The ring light is shining.
Yeah,
my eyes, so I might just, boop.
Nah, I get it. He's always ready.
We will. You know what? Just because Palamos Music said it, man. You know, Richard, we'll get something sent from you. Don't worry, man.
Yeah. No, don't worry.
What's your size? Make sure you send Chris your size, and we'll sort you out, man.
No. I want them shades because the shades look very hard. Look at him sipping the water. He can't even sip it uncool.
Chris, send him those shades, man. Send him the shades, man. Just a piece off for it, man.
The shades are expensive.
No, well, not for me. They won't be when you hook me up. That's how about that, right? Right. Let's just make sure that's clear. But no, all right. Usyk, and Tyson Fury. So me and Chris. Oh no, he had the picture ready. So me and Chris, we have these discussions so that people know any boxing that happens within half an hour of the fight finishing, no matter who it is. I will get a message from Chris saying, Rich, what did you think? And we go back and forth. And seldom, only a couple of times have we agreed on maybe something. But he will always have the person he supports and I'll have mine. And then we go back and forth. So that is hence the reason why I'm here. This is a running thing for years. And Chris is very much, you can tell, but Chris is very much into his boxing. This is not a fad for him. He's very much... He knows his stuff. So, if there are people that I haven't heard of, that Chris will kind of go, that's the person to look out for. So, I've got to give him his dues. He knows his stuff. But now, going to this one, I personally think, I'm just going to jump in like guns blazing. I think that Usyk might take this one again, right? Here's the reason why, right? Now, Tyson Fury, I've never met him. But he's obviously from the UK, so naturally I support him. I also think he's very good. I think for his size, his weight, he's one of the best in terms of on his feet, the way he can rope it up. He can do all the things that all the greats could do, from Muhammad Ali to Mike Tyson. I think he's got it all in one. Yeah, I think he's naturally gifted, even though he's honed his craft. But I think Usyk is one of the hardest fighters to get a read on. He will not keep still or not keep the same pattern, right, for all 12 rounds. Yeah. And we know, right, if you're into your boxing, the first round, maybe by the second round, normally you start to get the pattern of the person, then you try to find the openings. Yeah, that's how it's done. To the naked eye, it looks like they're both swinging, but you guys know that the first round, I'm feeling your pattern, throwing feints, things like that, see what you do. I kind of get a read on you. And maybe by the third or fourth round, you hear the commentator say, okay, he's got a good read on him now. Yeah? So we know what that is. If you find with Usyk, most times the commentators say, still can't get a read on him. Right? And so no matter how hard you bang, no matter how good you are with your feet work, whatever it is, you guys know what I'm talking about. If you can't get a read on the person that you're fighting, how do you land the blows? How do you let off the combinations that you have set up when the person's not planting themselves in a way where you can even start? So that means that you're always technically on the defensive if you're fighting somebody you can't get a read on. And I think that's why Usyk is so good, because he's mastered not having a pattern, right? And in a way, this is going to sound a bit weird as well. I think it's because he has a rhythm, but he's naturally also very good at not having a rhythm. Does that make sense? Like if you think about most of the people from Muhammad Ali to Sugar Ray Leonard to whomever that were like even Mayweather that have a flow about them, they naturally have a cool swagger rhythm about them. Does that make sense? Like, so they're able to switch like patterns and stuff like that. It's like switching dance routines. They're very good, but it's all within a stylistic rhythm. But Usyk is the opposite. He doesn't have a rhythmic rhythm. It's whatever the word would be for the opposite. Usyk has that. He's good at he's a person that can dance that's also good at not being able to dance. Does that make sense? Yeah. And I think that's what makes him so difficult, especially when you are used to everybody. When you learn to fight, you're taught to, especially with boxing, the best boxers, they always say look at their footwork, and if you look at their footwork, it looks like they're dancing. Right? Do you know what I mean? And it's teaching you to have some kind of rhythm. Do you know what I mean? And even the person, you might see that same boxer in a club dancing, that person can't dance. But in the ring, they can move like they can dance because they're taught to have that rhythm. That's why they always say that the feet work are the most important. You guys understand that, right? But when you have somebody, it's like Usyk's trainer said to him, I'm going to teach you to be as good out of rhythm. Because everybody you're fighting is naturally taught to have rhythm. I'm going to teach you the polar opposite, which means it's hard for a person. You need to plant your foot to throw a jab or whatever. How do you plant when you can't see when that person's in that spot for you to plant? So now without even realizing it, you're waiting for him to give you an opening whilst you're on the defensive as opposed to on the attack. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
And that's the reason why I believe that Usyk could take it, because, and it's not to put down Tyson Fury. It's not to say that Tyson Fury is not good enough, because I think he is. I think out of all the fighters that Usyk has come up against, Tyson Fury is probably the only one that could give him his run for his money and probably beat him. I think he's the only one right now that could potentially do that, right? But I believe that Tyson's too rhythm and Usyk is so the opposite that it's hard to contend with that. Does that make sense? But you tell me guys what you think.
Now, you know what? Before I let your breakdown was just absolutely tremendous, man. And everyone's just been saying that, look, you're a great pundit. So big up to Rico in the chat as well. Mr. Styles 619 saying Richard knows his stuff. He needs to do a commentary. Abbas, big up to Abbas, our brother. He's obviously saying, look, this is a proper breakdown. And Ra, big up to him. He's obviously saying that where's he going wrong? He can dance in the club but can't move in the ring. Yes, it's a lot of things, man. Everyone's getting involved, man. So just big up to everyone in the chat. Big up to Kami, all the way from the States. But yeah, just a quick one anyway. Usyk, I think, is going to win the fight, man. I'm keeping it real.
Why do you think he is?
I think Usyk's going to win the fight because Usyk is fighting for the matter of legacy. Tyson Fury wouldn't be taking this fight if it wasn't for Turkey, in my opinion. If it wasn't for the big bag, he wouldn't be taking this fight. And in terms of what Usyk does in the ring, you know, the way he moves, the way he lands his shots, he's a tricky southpaw. And he's been able to beat everyone that's coming his way. He's beat AJ twice. You know, he's become undisputed at cruiserweight. He's become undisputed at heavyweight. So for me, it is just his time to beat Fury for the second time and then move on to bigger and better things. There's nothing left.
Sorry to cut you. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you. I will say the second fight that AJ had with him, AJ did exceptionally well. And I think he didn't get the credit that he was due because I think AJ got a read on Usyk more than most people did. So I can even understand the picture ready, Liberty. I can no, you guys are amazing, right? No, you are. Seriously, you got to give you credit because you didn't know I was going to say that and the picture was ready to go, right? And that's why Chris has not taken off the glasses, right? But what I will say is that, no, keep them on. You're too smooth. Keep them on, right? What I'm saying is that I can understand why AJ thought he had done enough to win, right? Because he did get a read on him. He landed some good shots on him, more than the first. I think the first one, he kind of didn't know what he was getting into. But the second one, AJ had really done his homework, right? So I understood his disappointment. I just wanted to add that because you mentioned AJ. I just wanted to say that because obviously I said that Tyson Fury is the only person right now, but I do believe that AJ definitely gave Usyk a run for his money that last fight. But sorry, go ahead.
No, definitely. I 100% agree. That you saw, you know what, my cousin says it best, Chris. I think in the last fight you saw Usyk praying after every round when he went in the corner. But it was tough. Each round was tough. AJ was obviously coming through with like a different energy. He was hungry, obviously wanted to become champion, man. But the elites are able to make adjustments and win quickly championship rounds that allow them to. He done that against Fury for the first fight. He won the crucial championship rounds, like round 8, round 9. Round 9 was memorable. So I think he's gonna do a better job this time around because he's been in the ring with him.
Do you reckon it's gonna go the distance?
Nah, I think he's stopping him this time, man.
You think so?
Yeah, you know what? For me, this is why, like, I kind of look at things from a psychological perspective. Look, Usyk, born on the same day as Muhammad Ali, People's Champion of Ukraine. You know, he fights for his country, and I just think that right now he just wants to, do his part, move to the promotional side, and promote the other guys. And he doesn't have to prove nothing in the sport no more. He doesn't need to fight. Even this fight, I was telling my cuz, he doesn't need to do this fight again. He can retire.
Yeah, true. No, you're right. You're right. You know, Chris has got something to say.
That's why I'm handing it over to him. Cause
I saw you did. No, go on, Chris. Go on.
Do you know what? I'm gonna have to go for the underdog. I'm gonna have to go for Fury. My reasons for this is Fury. The first fight, I don't think Fury took Usyk serious because it was round 1 to let's say 4 or 5. Fury was actually winning the fight. He was doing all right, but he was showboating too much. I feel that during the later round, Usyk caught him and Usyk knocked him down. I feel that Fury needs to make a few adjustments, but he knows how to beat Usyk because he's also got a good boxing brain. So I think with this match, if it goes to distance, it's a tough one. It can go to Usyk again or potentially a draw. But I think he's going to have to be aggressive and try and go for, if not the knockout, then a few knockdowns because we all know Usyk, he's sensitive and vulnerable to the body shots. So I think Fury now, I think this camp is a serious camp because, again, this is the first time he's taken an L, a professional L. So, it's a different feeling. So he's hungry.
Yeah. No, and you know what it is with Tyson Fury? that I think he recognizes is that Tyson Fury is very good at getting into your brain before from the face-offs with the insults and things like that. But you see, Usyk, you know when Usyk say "I'm hungry barely" and blah blah blah, like you straight away you know that, and then you think about it, Usyk doesn't really come too far away from that cuss. He just stays right there, right? No matter what you say to me, hungry barely. That's what he's saying, because his thing is like he's letting him know you cannot get in my head. This fight here is all about the two of us in the ring. But you see all that psychological stuff prior to, save that for somebody else. It doesn't work with me. And I think that's where as well Tyson's been very good, because Tyson is very good. Because Tyson's the wrong person to go into the fight angry with, right? Because he'll pick you off. He's too good, right? Do you know what I mean? You have to literally be so disciplined and save all that stuff and let it go over your head and concentrate, because he's like Mayweather, one little slip up, right, will cost you. And the thing with Tyson Fury, where he's so good, because like you said, his brain is so, you had the picture ready, right? Where Tyson Fury is so good is that you're right, his brain, the way his brain works, I liken it to, you remember Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, the first one, right? Where he's having a fight with the guy in the classroom, and he sees the punch and he sees it in slow motion, right? And Tyson Fury's like that. He can literally see everything slower than what we see it. So when he knocks out people, when you watch it back, it's like, rah, but that was so, it looked telegraphed, right? Like the way you knocked him out, but it's so quick, because it's like he preempted everything you was gonna do. So big up Dylan. But when he knocked out Dylan, you remember when he gave him Dylan the uppercut?
Yeah.
It looked like how did Dylan walk into that? But it's because he preempted everything. The way he set that up, it was like there was no other option, right? That's how good Tyson is. Tyson, but my big up my martial arts instructor, my old kung fu instructor, hard, right? My old kung fu instructor, right? He used to say this thing where he would say, get them to the place where they're giving you the openings, right? And even though he does kung fu, he's also he comes from a boxing lineage, right? So that's what fighters do. Fighters will get a read on you, and then allow you to give them the openings, right? Do you know what I mean? So you get touched, and it's like, I didn't say that. And it's like, but he allowed you to give him the opening. He knew that I need to do this in order for you to open up, right? Do you know what I mean? And that's basically what the science of boxing is, that I need to get you to a place where you continue that pattern. Like if I see you do a pattern where you open up at this point, I don't highlight it in anything I do. I make it like I missed it, because otherwise you're going to close up, right? But I need you to do that again, right? Do you know what I mean? And you know what it's like. Sometimes they'll go for the shot and miss it like 3 times, but they try not to do too much, because I know that's what you're going to do again. I know that's what you're going to do again. So like, you remember, is it Javante Davis when he fought, what was the Hispanic guy? What was his name? That got done for the racism.
Talk about Ryan Garcia.
Ryan Garcia.
Yep.
Right, yes. Yeah, did you? My
Yes.
God, do you have a library of pictures? And do you have the buttons with the names on it or something? Because I don't even see you guys pressing nothing, right? That means, so I don't know. You got my sister working in the background or something? Is she like...
No.
Is she not looking after the kids? Because we
Yeah,
got stuff to do.
She's looking after the kids, man. Got my nephew and niece.
Yeah, no, you know what? You got my little niece working from now, innit? You got her pressing the buttons. She's too young for this. Right? But that fight with Ryan Garcia, if you think about it, right, when he caught Ryan with that last shot, Ryan had thrown a shot like that prior to it, and he missed him.
Yeah.
And you could tell he was waiting again. It was like he kept on stepping back, and it's like when you watch it back now, he's like, I'm waiting for you to throw that shot. I'm not interested in nothing else. I need you to... Now watching it back, Ryan would go, I don't know why I never preempted that and changed it, right? But it's because he didn't give him nothing to think that he'd seen it, right? So watch it back now. You guys that are listening, watch it back now. He just keeps stepping back, and he's crouching low, and he's like, I just need you to... And as soon as he went bang, right? And it's like, thank you. And when he hit him, you notice he didn't even try to hit him again. It's
Yeah.
like that shot was so clean, and I just needed you to give me that shot. That's why boxing, I rate boxers, because they do that in real time.
Yeah.
In real time, at that speed, with with everything on the line, it's like I've seen, and most times, you knock somebody out when they're about to hit you. Right, do you know what I mean? So not unless you can get a clean shot, but if not, it's mostly at the time when you're being attacked that opening's there. My instructor used to say it's when you leave home. So obviously when your guard's up, this is home. But when you go to hit, something has left home, so home is open, right? Do you know what I mean? And when you're a good fighter, that's how you counter a punch. Or Bruce Lee used to call it the intercepting fist. You've left home, so there's a space there. Right, it could be a small window, but that window is what I've got to attack, because if not, you're going to come back home and home is blocked again. Tyson Fury sees that in slow motion.
Right.
Tyson Fury, that's why if you see the fights, even when he's fighting Deontay Wilder, at the time, Deontay was a problem. We might laugh. Nah. Now I'm just saying names. Now what's going to happen? Let me tell you something. You see you, right? You see you guys, right? I'm gonna start just calling up names. You better, whoever's on the clock, yeah, right. I'm gonna start calling some mad names now because you're taking liberties with these pictures. Right? But I had enough of this. You make me nearly swear on this thing. Right?
Now you can do what you like, man. This is special, so you can do
Well,
whatever you
I've had
like.
about, you know what? I've about had enough of this shit. Right? You guys with these picture controls, right? Google Master, about had enough. Right? But as I say. So I think that Tyson Fury, as I say, because he sees everything in slow motion, right? He could give Usyk a good run for his money, but I don't think. You see, to your point, Chris, you were saying that if it goes the distance, I don't think. Number one, if it goes the distance, it won't be in Tyson Fury's favor, right? That's what I personally believe.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's gonna attack Usyk like that, because in order to attack him like that, you're gonna leave yourself. You're gonna you got to be so precise. You can't attack and be the aggressor with Usyk constantly, right? You if you think about it, you've only got a certain amount of time to do that before Usyk will get a read on you and go, okay, I see what you're doing, and pick you off. So you got to choose those shots well if you're going to be the aggressor.
Yeah. But that's the thing. I think where he went wrong in the last fight, he was fighting on a back foot, and it was all wrong for him.
But he couldn't. But
He was playing around as well. He was actually like joking around. He wasn't taking things seriously as well. Like,
but I think that's psychology as well. I think at that point, I think he was doing that to make Usyk feel that that Usyk had nothing, right? But Usyk, if you look at Usyk in the ring, Usyk doesn't rise to nothing, right? And you have to think about the mentality of Usyk. Yeah, Usyk is a person, People don't really take this into account. Usyk is a person that when he won the title, my man took a hiatus to go fight for his country. He didn't have to. It's not like it's not like it was at World War level where it's like, yo, we're all being drafted, right? He chose to go. He chose, and here's the thing: I might not come back. I might not make it back, but guess what? I'm gonna put my belts down and fight for the country. If I make it back, then we can reassume this. And you go, that's a different kind of warrior. That's a person. So a person that's willing at their peak to fight for their country with no gloves. This is bullets now. This is real things. Yeah. Do you think your little insults are going to get into a man's head like that?
True, yeah.
This is
what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
What I'm saying.
People don't think about those things. He's not a normal fighter, right? I don't know. Remember, not even Muhammad Ali went to war, right? Don't get me wrong. He had his beliefs as to why he didn't, but not even Muhammad Ali went to war for Vietnam. This man was such a patriot for his country. He's like, yo, they're fighting right now. Not fighting no idiot country. He's fighting Russia, right? Russia's a continent, right?
That's what I'm
Ukraine
saying.
is, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm going to fight them. If you notice, no one said nothing. No one raw. Like, that's a big deal. Then my man came back and won. Think about the level. This is not a guy that you... So your little press conferences where you're trying to diss him, no wonder he's looking at you going, bruv, I've just been to war. Look at his face. I've just come back from war.
Plus skinhead as well. Skinhead.
But bullets are skimming past my head. Right? And you think you're gonna say something that's gonna make me feel a bit funny? Allow that, brother. Right? And that's why I say that, all of that being said, that's why Usyk for me is a person that if you when you're taking him on, there's no shortcuts. You just have to you just have to be on your A game. You can't afford to slip, and you have to the showboating, all that kind of stuff, your ego, anything like that has to be checked at the door, because Usyk doesn't have an ego when he goes into that ring, right? Usyk is about the fight. He's about the fight, and that's it. He remember when him and Anthony Joshua had the fight, and Anthony Joshua then he started to get vexed and blah blah blah. You notice that Usyk just took back his flag.
He did, yeah. You know what? I thought that he just slipped that. Yeah, he said, yeah, you could do all of that.
He didn't even know what AJ was saying, but he knew whatever you're saying right now.
Give me that flag.
Part of that. Give that back, right? And go on with your thing, but give me back my flag, right? He don't play no games.
Yeah.
People are looking and not really paying attention. And when I saw him do that, I said, yo, Usyk is a bad brother, you know? Took back his flag. I don't know what you're saying, but I take it as disrespect. Give me back my flag.
No, you know what? The way you've broken it down, big up to you. Honestly, this show has been the greatest show, man. Big up to you, man. Because there's been so many people getting involved in the chat. I've just had to just let you do your thing, man, because like, you know, what you've been talking about, big up to you. I just want to read some of the chats, man, because everyone just wants to say hi to you, man. So big up
everybody, because I can't see the chats, but big up all you guys, man. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, Rico's obviously saying, I don't know what's happening in Ukraine, but it's not nice. AJ22. Eric, big up to Eric. He obviously did the interview with Caroline Dubois. She obviously is world champion. He's saying big up family. Big up to Mr. Styles 619. Just everyone's just getting involved, man. Look, Richard, you are my absolute OG, but Usyk's getting sent to the gulag. One-way trip to Gypsy King. This is what he's saying, man. Big up to Rico. Falamos just getting involved. So much people just getting involved, man. So just look, Abbas wants to ask you this question. He said, I have to ask, are we getting Vincent back in EastEnders, man? So let me get the picture ready. Are we getting Vincent back, bro? Are we getting Vincent back?
I'll be honest, right? You know what? Not at this precise moment, but not because there's any bad blood or anything. Like, me and EastEnders have always been good, right? We left on good terms and it was fine. I just my mindset has always been trying to take it to the next level, right? I mean, but what I will say about EastEnders is that if it wasn't for EastEnders, I wouldn't be where I'm at now, right? You know what I mean? Like, in a weird sort of way, my career was on a lull. I did Shrek in the West End for 2 years, and people that went to the theatre saw it and they loved it. But if you weren't really a theatre goer, you wouldn't really have known that I was doing that, right? But EastEnders came along after that, and literally everybody all of a sudden was like, "Wow, Richard's back." Do you know what I mean? And EastEnders single-handedly did that for my career. So people that, you know, when I've been doing my stand-up tours over the last few years, I mean, obviously I did Hollyoaks and I bigged them up as well. But when I was doing my stand-up tours, I was doing certain rooms and I was looking at the demograph, and I would say to the audience, like, people that know me from before MTV and all that, make some noise, and they'll make noise. And I said, people that know me from EastEnders, make some noise. And it was 90%, 3/4 of the room. And you go, and it was literally, so you have a whole audience that only knew me from acting, essentially, and didn't know that I've been doing stand up. Well, obviously now 31 years, but I've been doing stand up for so many years. They didn't know, so they were coming to the show kind of not knowing what they was going to get to see, if that made sense. So, and then they went away going, "Right, he's really good," and blah blah blah. But EastEnders did that. So, as I say, I would never say never, but right now, it's not on the cards. Right now.
No, big up to you, and big up to Rico. He's just reminding the people, guys. We obviously YouTube partners, so you can actually do super chats. So, guys, it's available. Look, actually, Palamos Music made a good point, man. I have to big up to him because Palamos has been supporting our thing since the beginning, and he knows actually Chris from years back, man. He's saying if Idris is not going to be new James Bond, Richard, man, you might as well just get that, man. You deserve that. For me, just for your story, what you do, you deserve that.
Do you know what? I'll be honest. I would love. There's certain characters that I would love to be able to play, and you know what? It's all in God's timing, right? Like things are gonna happen. Like one thing I don't like to do is put out there what I truly believe, because not everybody's your friend, right? So there are people that support and that will pray for me, and there are people that also pray for your demise. Like if you think about it, yeah. Like, and this is just a side note, but if we think about what's happening, let's say with Puff Daddy at the moment, yeah, prime example. Now, obviously, we know that Puffy's obviously done certain things, and a lot of us are saying it's his karma, whatever the side of the fence you're on. But technically speaking, if you think about the consensus of the people, most people kind of going, yeah, he deserves this, blah, blah, blah. So technically, think about the energy that's out there for Puffy. It's technically a negative, right? People like prime example, if he comes out and he's proved innocent, a lot of people are going to be upset. Even if they prove he's innocent, a lot of people are going to go, no, I don't believe it, because the consensus is that he's guilty, which means that people, without realizing it, are praying for the downfall because they believe he deserves it. So that, and you guys from church, so the power of prayer is a serious thing. So they will, pastors will say that the church is going to pray for you, because obviously a prayer with like 30 people in the church praying for something good for you is more powerful than you by yourself. So imagine now 30 people praying for your demise, how powerful that is, right? Do you know what I mean? People don't understand energy and prayer and things like that. And prayer doesn't necessarily mean that you've got on your hands and knees and you're praying like that. Sometimes prayer could be just you voicing something that you really feel passionate about, that you want. So if all of us are in this chat going, Puffy, man, he's going to go down, technically we're putting that out into the universe, and that we don't know how many people are watching. Let's say it's 100. That's 100 people saying he's going down. The universe goes, raw, that's a powerful message right there. Do you understand what I'm saying? Right? So the same way, when you say, like, I want this for myself, for my career, you might have 10 people go, rah, I really want that for you. But you might have another 30 that not voicing it going, you don't deserve that. And you know what I mean? And that's powerful, right?
Yep.
It's powerful. So you got to be, so this is just for people out there. I love and respect everybody, and big up the people that want me to win. And trust me, I'm going to, because I believe that it's part of God's plan. But I've had to learn the hard way that maybe not everything I should say, because not everybody is going to be truly happy or want that for you, right? And that's a thing that like, look, Jay-Z right now, look what's happening to Jay-Z. People already, but the people's opinion is already split, right? Where 50-50 is like, yeah, he did it. 50 is saying nah. And technically, it's not even like it's been proved that he's done it yet. But you've already got, so it speaks to where people's heads are at with you. So you think to yourself, rah, but I thought everybody loved Jay-Z. You know what I mean? That's what you would have thought, right? And then the allegations come, and then you realize, like, even Jay-Z's probably at home going, rah, 50% of the world kind of don't like me, right? But he didn't know that prior to this allegation. Do you know what I mean? So this is why I say that, and that's obviously an extreme parody, but I'm just saying it works on a basic level as well. So people out there, if you're going for a job or anything like that, keep it really close, blah, blah, because not everybody, even though they're smiling, is going to be happy for you. Right. And they'll put it out there in a way where, and then all of a sudden you didn't get the job, and you say it to them and they go, oh, you didn't get it. right? And they're feeling Chris, right? And you're feeling a slight energy from them. Like, why do you? I don't know. You seem like you had a little smirk when you said that. No. I just stuck in my mouth. You know what I mean? Like,
you know what? Big up to you. You know why? Because you're speaking absolute facts, man. This is everyday life. That's why for me, I just have the energy of I want to put out positive energy so you can get back positive energy. And look, you got Mr. Styles 619 saying, look, I wish Richard and everyone in iBoxingHub all the success, happy holidays, and God bless.
Yeah, God bless.
Talisha's obviously here. Big up to this is the first time Talisha's been on the show.
Wait, Talisa, let me tell you something. You see my little sister there?
Big up to her, because it's been a while, man.
There. No, but you see my little sister there, right? So out of all the siblings, she's the youngest one, right? But she's the terrorist, right? She is. You see, don't let that smile fool you. You see that little one right there, the Tasmanian devil. Let you, like
oh no, baby.
No, but Chris knows what I'm talking about. She can fight,
you know. Sorry.
Fight, you know? That little one, she's the person. I remember, like, I'm like nearly just under 20 years older than my sister, yeah? And I would have to not tell her about certain things in the past with certain people, let's say an ex, right? Because I know she's the kind of person that would just want to kick off the door, right? And she's my baby sister, right? She's that person. Like, when it comes to her family, she plays no games, none, right? Dead serious, as much as you see her smiling that one.
Big up to Talisa, man.
Listen, I have one question just before
let's go.
AJ Triple D rematch. How do you see that one going?
I already know what I'm gonna say. You know
what, right? Because you see, okay, so you don't realize once again, me and Chris have had these discussions, right? So what Chris is doing right now is he's taking our text messages to the show.
Love it.
I appreciate that.
Love it.
It's just all I just want to know. It's just okay. Let me put it out there.
Cheeky.
No. I just think, look.
Go, you go first.
Right. It was a bad day in the office in the first fight. It seems like he overlooked Triple D because he thought it was gonna be an easy victory. In fact, Triple D probably got disrespected by coming out first because he was the champion. And I think he probably didn't recover from that first knockdown in round one. And I just feel that the rematch, he knows what to expect and he knows where he went wrong, because after the fight himself, he said he's pissed. Do you know what I mean? Because he knows that the whole game plan just went out the window. But I believe there's respect there. But I feel that before he retires, before he fights the likes of Fury or even Wilder, I think he needs to run it back. If Triple D, if he was to beat him, then hey, Triple
but are they gonna? Is it been cemented? Are they
so man. AJ's getting a break, cuz.
Hey?
AJ's taking a break, man. He doesn't want.
Well, he's coming back I believe in June. But
but not for a rematch.
Well, here's the thing. Eddie Hearn has said that it will be a rematch. Because AJ would.
But it wasn't in the contract, was it?
Money talks, man.
No, but that's what I thought. I thought there was no contract. That was it, weren't it? From what I know.
Yeah, that was it. But with this Saudi money, anything's possible.
Okay, so I give you my view. All right. Now, Anthony Joshua is a friend of mine. Yeah, right, and he's a lovely guy. Right, genuinely lovely guy. He's what you see with Anthony is what you get. He's very real, and as I say, the times I've met him, right, he's always been decent with me. Right, in actual fact, he owes me a watch. Right, because he wore a watch at the Mobos, and I said, bro, that watch there is cold. I made a joke about it, and he goes, the next time I see you, I'm going to give it to you. I've never seen him since, so I just want to put that out there, right? I don't know if he makes sure that he checks.
Yeah, he needs to give you that watch, man.
But that watch is a mortgage. What I'm trying to say is, the watch is a mortgage on a Chris house, right? Do you know what I mean? So, Anthony, if you're watching, I've been looking to see where you're going to be at next. I just want to come pick up my watch, and we won't even need to talk for long. I just want to come pick up my watch, right? But and I know he's laughing, but I'm serious. I really want to watch. But what it is, okay. I think that particular fight with Triple D, I think people totally underestimate the fact that Triple D he's not a people's person. He is a fighter, period. Right? He's like, if you look when they interview him, sometimes I don't even know why they interview him. He's not a talker. It's not his thing. Right? Put me in the ring, say it's that person, and let me just done their dance. Right? That's who he is. And here's the other thing as well, right? You see, like, he has his dad at the side and blah blah, and he had his little brother there, right? And people always go, "Oh, but why is his dad there?" His dad's there to make sure everybody's safe, right? Let's just be very clear. If he looks in his corner and his dad ain't there, everything get mashed up, right? Right? His dad is making sure that he keeps him on a level. That boy there is a beast, right? Do you know what I mean? And he's got his little brother there and his dad there to go, just keep it here, right? Daniel is a problem, right? And we laugh and joke and don't, and it's like that last, when I saw the face off between them two, I said, Daniel is a problem, right? Because it took a little while for Daniel to register what Joshua said.
Yep.
Right? Do you know what I mean? And that's when I knew. But as soon as he realized, and he went, "You can't intimidate me." Just listen, he weren't even trying to be cool. You know, like if you think about this, I did this in my stand-up, yeah. When people have altercations or the verbal before the altercation, especially us as black people, we like to say things that are also threatening but cool at the same time, right? Because it's a way of like telling back the story. So Anthony said to him, "Mind yourself, you know, right? Mind yourself." Like, these are things that they sound cool. I mean, not saying that Anthony can't back it, because he can, right? But he said the things that you would want to say that you said. Oh, when he said, "What do you say?" I told him, "Mind yourself, you know. Man, don't take no disrespect. Mind yourself, you know." Right? These are cool words that you go, "What is that?" You said, what? Like, we know in real life he didn't say that, but Anthony can really say that. Mind yourself. Yeah, man, don't take no disrespect. Mind yourself, you know, right? And but Dubois, nothing cool in this swag. It's all about, I just want to take you out. You can't intimidate me. You can't. He just I literally looked and I went, "No, this guy's mad," because he's not even trying to come back with nothing clever or cool. He's telling you exactly what it is, right? And I knew from that point he is a problem, right? He's a problem, and people, it's so weird. People missed it. I said he's slightly mad, right? Do you know what I mean? And his dad and his brother keep him on a level, but you don't want no problems with that, right? So in the ring, right, when they were fighting, blah blah blah, you could tell that he was on kill mode, right? Because if you think about it, he was the aggressor all the way through that fight.
Throughout.
And you got to think about it. Joshua's not a person that you want to be an aggressor with, right? Because Joshua's good. You got to know what you're doing. You can't just come at him guns blazing. It's going to be a bad night for you. But I think that's what threw Joshua a little bit. It's like this man came. It's like attack, 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 right? And even if you think about it, the last hit again. You remember I told you about wait for the opening, right? Dubois did exactly what Gervonta Davis did, right? So when Joshua was coming over with the overhand, right? He caught him first, you remember, and obviously that's the reason why he caught him, and he caught him royal flush. Anybody else would have dropped, right? But Dubois tough, right? So he ate that, and then if you watch it, people, if you go back and watch that fight, after that, he stayed against the ropes, and he kept on putting his hand out there so that Joshua would throw that hand again. He just kept on doing it, right? And you could see it's like he's waiting for it. And as soon, because remember, he had to time it right, because he had to, as he's throwing it, he threw his first, right? So he had to wait for that shoulder to go, for him to go bang, right? Now, watching it back, it looks like, oh, yeah, it makes sense. But he did that in real time. Watch it back. He literally, he's going against the ropes, and he puts his arm out. He puts I think it's his right arm out, right? So that Joshua would throw his right arm. And as soon as he threw it, it went bang, and he just caught him, right? And it was so cleverly timed, right? Do you know what I mean? That's what I knew, that Dubois has got that same brain right, that Tyson Fury's got. In the moment when the pressure's on, right? Because that's the other thing as well. And there's probably boxers or fighters that are watching this that will know what I'm talking about. When you're under pressure, the way to deal with it is to actually try and find peace in that moment, right? To find those openings, to not to pander or give in to the suffocation of the onslaught of punches and blah blah blah. Is to literally still find the timing within it, cover up enough, right? Yes, I might take some licks, but I've got to cover up enough because I see that opening, and that's got to be your focus. Now that's very easy to say, but under pressure, not a lot of people can do it, which is reason why boxers don't get the respect that they're supposed to get, because that's what they do in real time. They'll be against, like, if you watch back the old Tyson fights, Tyson's attacking and he's taking some licks but you can see I'm going for the uppercut, right? So it's like, and the person, when we were younger, we just thought that Tyson went in and went bang. But when you watch them back, Tyson would take some serious licks, right? Do you know what I mean? In the middle, but you could see it's like, I'm not going to sway off of what I'm going for, right? Once you give me that opening, there it is. Whack, whack, right? But he took about 4 licks to the head while he was waiting for that moment, because he kept himself calm in the storm, right? Do you know what I mean? He kept himself calm in the storm, right? Dubois did the same thing. Tyson, Anthony Joshua was coming with an onslaught of blows, right? And any one of those will knock you out, right? And he waited, and he was like, "Raw, that's a masterclass." He waited, right, and then caught him with the onslaught of those blows that were coming towards him. Nobody else could have done that in that way. Only people of a certain level of IQ could pull off that move, right, and not crack under that pressure, right? Do you know what I mean? And that's the reason why Dubois, to me, is not to be played with, because he, under pressure, it's like he switches on. Do you know what I mean? The pressure doesn't throw him. He can stand in the fire and find those moments. Not a lot of people can do that. And I don't think we really saw that from him, which is the reason why we underestimated him. But that's the first time I saw it, and I said, and whomever is training him is going to say to him, bruv, that's where you really come alive. Like, in essence, that's where you're going to put people on the back foot, because they're going to see that under pressure, you're okay. You can stand in the fire. You can stand in it and still find that moment, right? And you know what it's like. If you're winning a fight, or you get a knock on, you hit somebody and they stumble a bit, your adrenaline, your ego, everything kicks in, and you just want to destroy. But that's the time when you're most open, because now I want to destroy. And then you watch and please, people, watch it back if you can. Just watch the way Dubois becomes so calm in that moment, and he's waiting, and you go, oh my God, he's waiting. And as soon as you saw it, there it is in real time. So if they get a rematch, I think that it'll be a tough one. I would love Anthony to win, because Anthony's my boy, right? But I do think at the same time, Anthony knows that Dubois is getting better and better and better, right? And like you said earlier, everybody has their time, and it feels like it's starting to become Dubois' time. Do that make sense? Sorry, I know I overtalked then, so I'm going to stop now. But yeah.
No. It's not.
Oh, no, you're blessing the community with your knowledge, man. Everyone's just loving what you're saying, man. I just need to go through a few stuff.
Ever since AJ's lost the belt, I don't know. I've seen, like, it's the motivation, it's the hunger still there. I don't know, because it's just like when he was a champion, he fought, and ever since he lost the belt to Usyk, it's just like people are saying he's rebuilding, etc. But the way I see it, you're 2 times former heavyweight champion. Yes, you can rebuild, but you're a champion. You've been a champion. You should, you know how to dig deep. And it's just like sometimes it's just like when it gets lit, it's like, oh boy, I'm tired. Do you know what I mean? So I think,
know what I would say to that? Sorry, no, I'll let you finish, and then I'm going to say something to it.
I feel that rematch. I think I think rematch. He will knock out Dubois within 3 to 5 rounds. It's a big statement, but I think because he thought he got the way he fought, it was terrible. Like anyone could have been AJ that day. Anyone.
Yeah, but okay. So this lends to my point, right? Okay. So I
You
was
know,
having
Richard, land. You gotta land this, man. Land.
no. So I'm gonna liken it to stand up. So obviously I've been in stand up 30 years, right? 31 years, and myself, Todd, Mr. C, Slim, we was backstage at Catford Theatre, and we was talking about stand up, and they're likening it to boxing, and so what I mean by that, obviously I do martial arts. I've never been in the ring like that, but I've always done some form of fighting, from Muay Thai to Kung Fu. And I enjoy it, yeah, and I believe I'm pretty good at it as well, right? So I understand the science of fighting. Do you know what I mean? Obviously not to the level of those guys, but that's because I decided to do stand up. If I had given the same attention to fighting as I did to stand up, then maybe that would have been my choice. But stand up was my choice. Yeah. But every time you go on stage as a stand up, no matter your track record, you're always as good as your last show. So you could have hundreds of shows where when you go on stage, you just annihilate it. You're just on form. And in one show, you don't really get a good response. Let me tell you something. For any comedian that's watching this, they will tell you, you feel like a novice. You feel like I'm doing everything right, but it's not working. So have I lost it? Am I not funny anymore? Right? There's a classic Richard Pryor concert, which is Richard Pryor live at Sunset Strip. Yeah. And he's wearing a red suit, and it's a very famous one. It's the most famous one, even though it's not the best one, but it's the most famous one of his. Now, people that know about Richard Pryor know that he went to film it one day, and when he was on stage performing, he couldn't get his groove, and he wasn't funny, and he stopped taping mid-tape, and he said, "Guys, I'm going to give you your money back. I'm not feeling it today. I'm not on form." And he came back the next day, filmed it, and that's the one that we've now seen. But he actually filmed one, and everybody was there. I'm talking every A-list celebrity you can think of was in the audience, and he not died, he just wasn't on form. And before he died, he stopped and said, "Look, I'm not even going to do this disservice to you, because I'm Richard Pryor, so you expect me to be on a certain level, and today I'm just not hitting." Came back the following day, destroyed it. I say that to say, this is Richard Pryor at the peak of his career, right? He does one show and it's just not hitting, right? And he knew that if I continue this and put this out there, this is going to be in my career. So he literally, because he's Richard Pryor, was able to go, "Let me stop. Guys, free tickets tomorrow. We're going to do this again. We're going to do it properly." Which means, remember, they've hired out this big venue. They've got this big camera crew. So now that means he's got to pay for everything himself, because he's already paid these people. Right? Do you know what I mean? But even with that being said, his legacy meant more to him. I cannot do this. I'm not on form today. I've had shows where, in my 30 years, where I've not done so well. And trust and believe, I'll come home and I can't sleep because I feel like, oh no, is this the day where I've lost it? Right? And I believe fighters go through the same thing. Yeah, where no matter how much they've trained, no matter how much knowledge they have, because Anthony Joshua has been, when did he win the Olympics? How old was he?
22.
22, and he's in his mid-30s, late 30s now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So my man's been boxing for years, and he's been fighting at world title level for years. He's got the knowledge. There's nothing really that you can teach Anthony now. I mean, yes, you could take him out of a certain rhythm and teach him another rhythm, or teach him another pattern. But technically speaking, you're not going to teach him anything where he's going to go, "Right, I didn't know that." Right? He's world class level. Right? He's a boxer. Yeah. So I say that to say that sometimes when you face a defeat, that defeat as a fighter sometimes can really hit your core and shake up everything. So it doesn't matter what you therefore learn, or when you have to dig deep. The core of where it's hit is too deep. And I personally, I could be wrong, but I think when he fought Ruiz, I think Ruiz was the start of that, in terms of it felt like he wasn't fully the same after that. Now, don't get me wrong, he's won since that, as we know. But it felt like Ruiz cut something very deep in him, right? Now, that doesn't mean that he's not a good fighter, because he's still an exceptional fighter. He's one of the best and deserves that title. But he's still a human being, right? And I think it's very easy for us to go, he could dig deep, man. He's just got to do blah, blah, blah. But what we don't know, and I can say this as a performer, because we're still performing, right, is that when you have a defeat, especially a defeat that you don't believe you should have had, against somebody that I should have annihilated that person, right? Or an audience that, like, I could eat this audience for fun, but something went wrong, right? Trust and believe. It's like PTSD. It's something that's very hard to shake. Like I remember I got held up at gunpoint years ago. And I remember 2 days later, I had to go to the same venue to DJ. And my mum said to me, you know what? I really respect you, because you could have easily decided to cancel that gig and not go, because you got robbed there by gunpoint 2 days before. And here's the thing, it wasn't a ghetto, it was in the West End, right? That feeling could have been enough for you to go, I can't step over this hurdle. I'm not going back there, right? But that thing inside me said no, because I understood it. If I allow that thing, that fear, to get me, it will mess with everything else that I'm doing. So I had to dig deep to get over it. But trust and believe. You see that night when I went to that club? Fear was on 10. Because that guy that pulled the gun on me, we done our research. He would have pulled the trigger. He weren't no idiot guy, right? Which means he could have come back for round 2, right? Do you know what I mean? But I had to mentally get over that, right? So think about people that are watching this. Think about something in life that's happened to you that has dug so deep that you on the surface you're like, yeah, man, I'm good, but that thing cut me real deep. Could be a breakup. Could be anything, but something that you've never really fully recovered from, but you tell people you have, right? This is what fighters have to do. So I think for Joshua, I think this is just, I mean, Joshua could say, Richard, you're totally wrong, and fine. But from what I saw, it felt like Ruiz was that person. It felt like Ruiz, like the same way that I think Deontay Wilder, when he lost to Tyson Fury, it was that same thing. It was like because prior to that, he was the way he was knocking out people for fun, right? Yes, you see the picture? The way that Deontay was walking up to people and giving them a 2-piece with no guard up, just walking towards a person and bam, bam. And you think, how did he do that? Right? Do you know what I mean? He walked up, and we know Deontay Wilder didn't have the best kind of he wasn't technical.
IQ was poor, man. IQ was poor, not gonna lie.
It was like he was swimming, right? But he had that thing about him that made people not want to step in, because they knew he was the hardest puncher in the heavyweight division, right? So he had everybody on the back foot. So no matter if his defense was terrible, you was on the back foot, because you knew if he came with that rear cross, you're finished, right? Do you know what I mean? So, but then he fought Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury ate that punch. Tyson Fury, think about it. Tyson Fury got knocked out, and when he sat back up, we all remember the way that Deontay looked back at him like to say, what? You're getting up. From that moment, people, think back. Everything changed, because that switch, that PTSD, that thing, whatever you want to class it, happened in that moment. Wait a minute, I'm not Superman. No, you're not. You've just met General Zod. What? Right? Now you're fighting different. You're fighting for survival, because that was supposed to knock you out. What's happening in real time? So then when he fought him again, right, that's why, and here's the thing, Tyson Fury was like, without saying the words, I've got your number, right? Because I can eat your punch. He could even do interviews and go, he's the hardest puncher out there, no doubt. But I've got him. Think about what that does. Nobody else could say that, right? But Tyson Fury's doing interviews where he would actually big him up and go, "No, he can hit hard. Hits hard. Oh my God, hardest punch I've ever had." So a man's bigging you up and then going, "But yeah, I'll take him." You go, "I don't have any other secret weapons. He's just told me my secret weapon doesn't work, right? I'm done." And ever since then, think about what's happened to Deontay now.
No, 100.
Deontay now, and this is why I think as well. This is the other side. I'm gonna wrap it up with, and in terms of what I'm saying. Also, these are fighters that the comments are harsh when you lose. People that have not fought a day in their life are now disrespecting you in the comments, right? Talking greasy, right? Just chatting any old nonsense about you because now you've lost. And once again, you're a human being, right? And you got people trying to chief you, say, "Rah, you lost. I knew you was rubbish, blah, blah, blah." And we could sit here and go, "Yeah, but he's supposed to ignore that." But you're a human being. So what does that do? You're already feeling like, "Rah, I don't know if I've got this thing." And then you've got millions of comments saying you haven't got that thing no more. But now you've got to kind of blank that all out and go back in the ring and fight the person that told you it doesn't work with me. Like, people don't understand it's tough, right? So anyway, that's why I think it's a harder battle for Joshua more than we think. It's hard for Fury more than we think. Because as I say, Usyk understands the psychology. Usyk pretends that he doesn't understand English.
Of course, yeah.
And we know he understands English. But he does it because he's letting you know everything you say doesn't affect me, because I'm going to go, what does he say? What does he say when he says he can't understand English? He always says the same thing. What's the line he says? I
very feel.
I am feel.
He takes the piss. Right? But it's psychology, because how can you cuss a man that's letting you know I don't understand what you're saying? So what he's doing is he's making sure nobody can get to me. Unless you're speaking Ukrainian, I don't know what you're saying, mate. It's all psychology, brother. And people don't think that deep to know that, raw. That's why you can't get to him. His thing is save all that for the ring. But you see all that bad mouthing me and all that kind of stuff, I don't even know what he says. And everybody, you've heard commentators go, "Come on, Usyk, you understand English." And he's like, "You did it." You think that's on purpose. Because he's letting you know, because if I let you know that I understand everything you're saying, then you're going to say everything you want to say to me. But if you think that it doesn't mean nothing because I don't understand, then what can you say? That's the psychology, people. That's why Usyk is so good.
No, you know your stuff, man. Honestly, like the comments say, "Richard, I got to do this, man." Everyone's getting involved in the chat, man. So I got to read some of the chats, man.
Go for it. Sorry.
FK Breeze, big up to you, amateur boxer. He's obviously saying, "Richard, you should become a sports therapist because you obviously know your stuff." I think Rico also asked a good question. In fact, he did say something about what's your favorite anime. In fact, so if you could just let us know what your favorite anime was growing up, I think that would be an interesting one for everyone to know.
You know what? I don't know if it was anime, but my favorite cartoon, which was of that ilk, was Akira. Do you guys ever watch? I don't know if maybe it's a bit before your time, but
before my time. But I've seen clips of it from like older cousin. I swear Ali and Midar used to watch it, cuz, innit? I don't know.
Yeah.
Akira was one of the first kind of cartoons. It was Japanese that came from. Was that the 80s? And I think it was like 3 hours long, if I remember. But the I want to say the graphics, but back then it was all drawings. But the movement of the characters was so fluid, it was way ahead of its time. Yeah. And so people that are watching this will know Akira is basically everything that you guys watch now. Everything was loosely based off of Akira. Akira was the first of its kind to change the mold of that kind of animation as such. Right, but let's see what the comments say.
The Naruto's, Rico's obviously saying it's a movie. You're an OG, and OG anime. Yeah, man. Everyone's just kind of just saying that. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
Akira was. If you haven't watched it, please go back and watch it.
yeah.
It is way ahead of its time. Way ahead of its time. And there's a scene, I don't want to spoil it, where you see the character take off. Oh my god. Right? Like people that watched it know what I'm talking about. You know, like when you watch Superman and you remember Man of Steel where he kind of looks down, he looks up and he takes off. And those moments, the first time you see Superman fly or Neo fly in the Matrix, when you see Akira, that scene alone, but don't fast forward to that, watch the whole thing. But when you see that scene, it's one of the, you can't really top that scene. And people that watch it will know what I'm talking about. Literally, I was just like, oh my god, it blows. And I used to draw, I used to do comics. My sister will tell you, I used to do comics and stuff. So Akira was one of the big things for me because I used to draw stuff like that.
Oh no, big up to you, my brother, man. Obviously, Rico's just agreeing with you. Groundbreaking, Cowboy Bebop. So he's obviously mentioning a few things there, man. So now, big up to you. And Stay Wadings obviously got involved, old school in the motorcycle as well. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Wait, there's a scene in oh, what was it? What was the film that Jordan Peele did? Nope. You remember Nope? Do you remember the film Nope? It's a horror film
Rings a bell.
with Daniel Kaluuya.
Oh yeah.
Right,
I
about
remember
the
that.
aliens.
Yeah.
Came out not too long ago. But there's a scene where the woman, she's riding a motorcycle, and the way she skids, right, skids back, right, on the motorbike. That's from Akira, right? Like, listen, man, you got what? Serious, man. The references are hard. But anyway, yeah. Sorry, Dan.
No, you're making me just want to go back and watch that properly because I was a bit too young, man. But obviously, I didn't.
Yeah. Of course,
I'm gonna go back and watch that for sure, man. But FK Breeze has got a quick question here. He's obviously saying, you said Usyk pretends to not understand English. What about Khabib? He obviously talks trash from. He takes trash from McGregor, held it in the fight, but went mad on him and beat him up during the fight.
Khabib,
so you remember that?
So now we're talking about MMA, right?
All right. MMA. Let's have it.
So Khabib, once again, Khabib comes from the same lineage as Usyk, which is that he's a warrior, right? And I think when Khabib, because obviously it was personal, because obviously they had their beef where they had the fight, blah blah, with his crew and their crew, blah blah. But certain people don't take disrespect in the way that other people do. And Khabib comes from, you got remember that man, they fight bears, you see my man wrestle a grizzly bear. right? Like
normal, innit? It's just normal. Yeah.
And here's the thing, with no top on, right? Let me tell you something. Think about it, yeah? When you've got no top on and you get slapped on your body, it hurts. Yeah? He's getting slapped by a grizzly bear in the snow. Right? But these are things that we look at and here's the thing, we look at and go, right, that's mad. But we don't really understand that, that's a different level of conditioning, right? My man is doing what we see in movies like Rocky. When Rocky, where he was fighting Ivan Drago and he was running in the snow and picking up logs. My man's doing that in real life, right? And he comes from a place where I used to have a friend, right? He used to come to my barbershop, right? He's from Poland, right? I think he's gone back there now. But he used to get in trouble a lot. Young guy, he used to get in trouble, but he was a bit naughty. But he was training for MMA. He was going to go into it, right? And them times there, I remember I was doing Kung Fu and me and him had a little spar. And let me tell you something. I mean, don't get me wrong, he wasn't at my level at that point because he was still new to it, but he was a fighter. But let me tell you something, you see, and I remember he said it to me, he said in his accent, he goes, if I jab you, it will feel like lead has hit you. And I shit you not, right? I put my hand up and he hit my hand and he just jabbed it. It weren't even heavy, as in like he didn't power. And it felt like he hit me with a metal pipe, right? The way it went, pang, and I was like, when it goes through your whole bone. And I was like and I remember he said, he goes, we grow up different in Eastern Europe.
Yep.
Right? We grow up different, right? And I liken it to people that have grown up in, let's say, Nigeria or Ghana, those parts of the world, right? Naturally stronger, denser bones, denser muscles. They're just naturally strong because they come from a lineage of workers. Do you know what I mean? Right? No, the man had the pitch. Don't take liberties. Right?
Man, like
But
Bacoli, we have to mention Bacoli, man. He's from Congo, you know,
no,
heavyweight.
but you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
right? People that come from the motherland, their muscle density, everything is different, right? Because just where the conditioning is different, right? Do you know what I mean? So when you're fighting a man that's from that part of the world, especially a man that knows what he's doing, you got to know what you look at him. You can't believe I'm saying this. Congolese,
He's
right?
loving it. No,
You can't
when you
believe.
said that, I was just looking. I was thinking, yep, he's loving it, man. You're
You can't
in the
believe I'm
card.
giving him. He's like, you know, he says interrupted me. He's like, yo, Rich, tell him, yeah. Look, he can't believe he's stroking his arms, right? But right now, but I'm telling you, right? But you got to give respect where respect's due, right? Certain parts of the world, certain people are built different, yeah. And my guy, the same one, we was talking about the MMA fighter. What's his name? Khabib, yeah. He comes from a part of the world where it's tough, it's different, right? Do you know what I mean? And you could tell that when, once again, with McGregor's a person that he's quite intimidating, right? And he knows he is, right? And people are naturally scared of him because he's got that Irish spirit about him and he's tough and he can really fight. So he knows that when he sticks it on you, once again, he can get into your head where it's like, right, I don't want to trouble because this man's tough and he's different, right? But my man now is going, that doesn't work with me, right? Because I come from a place that's even harder, right? Do you know what I mean? And it was the same like Usyk. I come from a place that's harder, right? So you see all these cusses and stuff. Save it for them, man, they're over there. But you see me, right? But you'll see, right? And
That's
you
why he's
saw,
a crossbreed. He's a crossbreed, Usyk,
bro,
because he's skilled, but then he's got exactly what you've been explaining. He's got
people
that.
don't understand, yeah, because there's certain things you can't train. The reason why Mike Tyson was so good is that Mike Tyson was an animal first, right? Right? No, you guys are great. I've about had enough. How is it that you had the animal picture ready as well? Of all the pictures you could have had, you know, right? You had the animal picture ready, right? When a man looks like he's growling. Those were the days, you see? Those were the days, right? Think about this. I did this in my stand-up, yeah? The other day, and I spoke about Mike Tyson, and I said, this is when Mike Tyson made you look at him and the stuff he did as normal behavior when it wasn't normal, because nobody else could do it. It's a prime example. Mike Tyson, right? This is the only time I'm really going to swear. Mike Tyson, do you remember when he was vexed at the press conference and he goes, I will sleep with your kids,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
My man's, and I'm saying it in a nice way, right? He goes, I will F you till you love me, right? Anybody else say that their career's over, cancelled. What did he say? Do what? Did he say sodomize somebody? It's over, right? Mike Tyson said that, and everybody went, yep, sounds about right. Nobody said anything. No one, there was no cancellation. There was no, that's a bit strong. Because they understood that Mike Tyson would really do that to you. If he grabbed hold of you in that moment, there's a likelihood he's going to do that specific thing to you. So what did people do? They just stayed back. They just stayed back and allowed security to do what they're supposed to do. Could you escort this animal out of here, please? Right? Because if he gets hold of me, he's saying he's going to make love to me. And I don't really feel like that today. Right? That's the kind of man he was. Right? He was an animal first. Right? So when he went in the ring and he was doing what he was doing, we was watching an animal that was taught how to fight like a human being. He was an animal first. Right? His level of conditioning growing up was completely different. When the man, you not see the interview where he said, when, who was it, Rogan, that said to him, what was it like when he went to prison? He goes, I was at peace. He goes, it's the first time I could relax. What? Prison?
Yeah, no, but Mike, I can't lie. Mike was just like the fact that he had tigers He was living with tigers at one point as well.
And fight them in nappies. He would wear a nappy and slap box a tiger, right? Do you know the amount of clothing I would have to wear for? Look at the people that go to, where is it? What part of the world do they go? Where they sit down and they lay down with a tiger. The tiger is drugged up, sedated, mash up, right? And people are posing like this, but they're keeping their eye on the tiger, right? Right? But they're slightly, and you know the man's going, lean on the tiger. He's like, no, I'm good, right? But the tiger is dosed up with every drug you can think of to stop the tiger doing what it naturally wants to do, which is eat you. They have to sedate that tiger. Mike Tyson is slapboxing the tiger fresh before it's even eaten. Before it's tasted any meat, he's gone in there with a nappy on and slapboxing the tiger, right? And it's nothing to him, right? And then you want to come next to him talking about, I want to fight you in the ring with gloves on. I would just slapboxing a tiger. Naked, right? If I see a man, if I could say I'm going to fight a man and I see a video of him slapboxing a tiger naked, that fight's off. The fight's off. I'm not going to be able to do it because I know that if a tiger slaps any one of us here, wherever it slaps, that part of your body's coming off. It's coming off. It's no longer a part of your body. Your shoulder, your jaw, your nose, wherever it slapped, that part is coming off in the paw of the tiger. And Mike Tyson slapboxing and smiling and taking pictures at the same time in a nappy. Allow that fight. It's not happening. Not today. I've got things to do. Right? Do you know what I mean?
Life to live, man.
I've got a life to live. I've got kids to feed. Right? I've got a son. So what I'm saying is that these people, Usyk, Khabib, all these people we've mentioned, if you think about where they've come from, they've all got the same thing in common, which is they've got a level of living that we've never experienced in their core. Right? And then they're taught how to fight, but they already have that hardness in their core. That's a very hard thing to defeat. You have to be a different level to beat that because if you're not built from the same stuff, that means that your training has to be on such a level because you're fighting against two things. You're fighting against a person that's as skilled as you, but also their core is far stronger than yours by default. The people that used to fight Mike Tyson was as strong as him, but their core wasn't the same as Tyson's. Right? And that's, if you think about it, that's what they went up against. If you remember that fight, who was it he was fighting? And when they face off, the guy's moving like this, and Tyson's just following him with his eyes.
Oh, right?
Yeah.
You
remember that fight?
Yeah, that's a classic moment, man. I remember, man. The way he's just, the way he's just kind of straight on, and he's just, the guy's just moving his lips, and then Mike Tyson's moving his eyes.
He's just following, and this is the thing, because Tyson and the guy, the guy is a fighter, but he's thinking, I don't know what Tyson is thinking. Tyson might be thinking, I just want to eat you. Like it's not even a normal thought that's going through Tyson's head. Because Tyson's just said, I will take your kids and I will F you till you love me. What? I don't know what you're thinking. I don't know what you're thinking, right? I'm not even fighting somebody that's practical. You look like a human being, but I know you're not. Those people you leave alone. Like, we're lucky he took up fighting. If that man was still on the roads.
It's finished, man. It's finished.
If a guy's like that on the roads, you're finished.
Yep.
You're calling the police as you see him. He hasn't even done nothing and you're calling the police. Your name is Karen straight away. Hello? What's he doing? I don't know. He's just walking. He just looked at me. He blinked. I don't know. You need to come get him. You need to come get him now. I do not feel safe. That man there, you need to come get him right now, right? What's your name? My name's Karen. Come get him now. Tell you, man. I'm telling you, certain people you leave alone. The Mike Tysons and those people of this world, can be all these kind of people. They're a different level. They're a different level. They're not the same as us, or the same as other fighters. They're a different level.
Yeah, man.
100%. No, I agree with you, but Richard, look, appreciate your time, man. Thank you very much. I mean, you know, we requested you just for half an hour. We've done an hour and a half now. What? Hour and 25 minutes.
You know, just because of you. Look, it was the special, the roundup special. You know, starring yourself, my brother, man. So big up to you. You gave us a stand-up comedy special right now. You gave us everything all in one with your boxing knowledge as well, man. So big up to you. Big up to your boxing knowledge. People want you as a pundit now. People want you as a therapist now. You've got fans now. Everyone's just, everyone, look, the energy is good, man. Look, energy is good. Look, energy is good right now, man. So Rico wants you to
I want to thank everybody that's watching. And you know what? I actually really enjoyed this. So anytime you guys want me to come back, we should do it where we leap for a bit and then I come back and I give another, right? Do you know what I mean? Because
anytime.
I ain't going to lie. Because I'm feeling ill, right? So I wasn't sure, but because I said to Chris, I'll do it, I was like, all right, no, because I'm not feeling well, right? Hence the reason why I'm laying down. But doing this, right, it's been a lot of fun. But Chris knows, I'm telling you, so you understand, any fight that happens, right, and it's late, you know, right, trust and believe. Most people be asleep. Chris is probably in the gym or something, right? Trust and believe, right? Because Chris goes gym at times where the gym's not even open. It's like he waits for them, right? Yeah. Like, you know, like 3:34 in the morning or something like that. Chris is the only black person. You're a black person in the gym. You're scaring white people, right? But he's there, right, training with his sunglasses on. This guy's mad. But he will message me and go, Rich, the fight, what do you think? And then we're doing voice notes, right? And we're having like 2-3 minute voice notes. Sometimes I don't even read. Sometimes I just wait till the morning. I just leave him hanging because I know he's like, he won't go sleep. And I've got things to do. Right? He's acting like he doesn't have kids.
One request: when AJ gives you that watch, could you also get me one as well? Just say them, Mama. I'm a fan.
Wait, let me tell you something, AJ. If you're watching, I'm telling you, right? We was at if you guys remember, it was the Mobos, yeah. And he came out and he this was it last year or year before, and the watch he had on was a madness. And I remember I came out and I said, first of all, I just want to big up Anthony Joshua's watch because he made us realize that we're all broken here. And he was busting up laughing, right? And he goes, do you like this watch? And I said, bro, that watch is on. He goes, next time I see you, I'm going to give it to you. I said, bro, don't play with me, you know? Right? He goes, no. First of all, that's how rich Anthony Joshua is. The man said to me, next time I see you, I'm going to give it to you. I said, first of all, that's a different level. That's what you remember when I said different level? He made me know how broke I was when the man said, next time I see you, I'm going to give it to you. First of all, what? Right? And I'm not as rich as him, so I went, I'm really looking for you, right? So, because I could really do that watch. So, and I have not seen him since. I have not seen him anywhere, even at his own fights. He hasn't been there. I've been looking, right? Do you know what I mean? Right? Because I want to see that watch, yeah? And if you watch this, yeah, watch. If you watch this, let me know where you're going to be. You obviously don't want that watch anymore. Just hand it over, brother. Right? Do you know what I mean? Right? Next time I come on the show, I want to be able to go like this, and it's there. Right, and then I'm gonna buy a house.
Nah, you know what? Big up to you once again, my brother, man. It's an absolute pleasure having you. I just want to run through some of the comments. Aisha's obviously a big fan of you. She's saying love AJ, and she also said, great to see you on the show, Richard. Come back soon. We love you. Rico wants you on his show as well, so he's saying please. So
let's make it happen. I'll talk to Chris.
He shows on the platform, and FK Breeze. I just want to run through a few comments. So you know, when women cross the road, when a man just casually walking behind them, imagine if that was prime AJ. So I think that must have been talking about he's stand-up comedy level right now, man. So big up to everyone. And Aisha obviously wants you on his show as well, on her show as well. So big up to Green Diamond Boxing, big up to everyone in the chat. This was a truly great special. Obviously, Richard Blackwood, big up to you, big up to everything that you're doing. Thank you, before we wrap up the show, here's a word from our sponsors, D-Rock. Yes, there it is. Obviously, you saw it. Yeah, I was waiting for you. Look. I'm just gonna let you land, man. I was gonna promote 40% off, but
Hey,
land Richard Frost, man.
Chris, allow it. Chris, what? No. You know what? I ain't even got to say. You know what? I got to say though, from the side, your shoulders look serious.
Well, I'm just, just in case if Jake Paul, or Logan Paul wants something, so I'm just.
Would you fight one of them?
Do you know what? If the money was right, why not?
I reckon you could,
Give me 6 months.
I reckon you're his size. What weight wise? They're taller than you, right? But weight wise, you're about the same weight.
Give me 6 months. Just don't. No, in fact, 6 months, and then I'm good.
He's ready.
Okay, but honestly, now, don't you think that was it Logan who fought Tyson? Was it Jake Paul?
Jake.
Yeah.
What do you reckon? What do you rate him as a boxer?
Do you know what?
I was getting to it for him. Yeah.
No, it's just there's levels to boxing. There's levels. Like, look, this is. Would you class him as a professional or just a YouTuber boxing? Do you know what I mean? Because let's be real. Look, everyone he's fought is retired or has been, whatever. I mean, look, he lost to a professional boxer, and that was Tommy Fury. So it just shows you the levels. Do you know what I mean? So again, I just think marketing wise, he's smart. He's making money. He's made history, Netflix, but. He's got a long way. I mean, look, he's saying he's calling out Canelo. Canelo will kill him.
Yes, and that fight I would love to see.
Destroy him. It will destroy him, man. Like I wouldn't want to see that fight, man. Canelo, I call him El Presidente for a reason, because he's the face of boxing right now. So
Canelo is a beast. And he's a person. Like, obviously when he fought Mayweather, he wasn't at the prime that he is now. Obviously, right? Because but the way he is now, he's like what Mayweather always was. The way that he's evasive, his footwork, right, everything about him. He was not a late bloomer, but it's like he got better as the time went along. And like now that Mayweather's obviously retired from the game, blah blah blah, Canelo's that guy, right? But he's a problem, and I think just like what we saw with Mayweather with Logan, right? Because you've got to remember, Mayweather knocked out Logan and held him up with his shoulder. A lot of people had missed that, right? Yeah, you had the picture ready, right? He knocked him, and for a split second, Logan fell, and he caught him with his shoulder and left him back up, and he kind of said, yo, stay in it, right? My man knocked him out.
Yeah.
Right? Do you know what I mean? It's like, that's how good he is. That's how good. Imagine he knocked him, and he caught him with his shoulder and kept him up. Think how tall Logan
I reckon he had a bet on. That's my... Yep.
Yeah, and he held him up with his shoulder and then lifted him back up and said, stay in there, right? So I reckon with Canelo would do the same thing, but I don't think he'd be as nice. I think Canelo would make a point of going, no, this is where it stops right now, right? That's what I personally think. Do you know what I mean? But it's because think about it, it's bound to happen. It's bound to happen. Technically speaking, this is the only way that this whole thing is going to finish, is that one of these boxers that they're going to fight is they're not going to accept the memo, and they're going to go, no, I'm doing this for my legacy, and you've got to go, and they will make a show out of them. You can already, and this is not me wishing bad on them, you can just see that's, if we was watching a movie, I'm going to leave you guys on this, but think about it. When you guys watch a movie, after a while, you can kind of see where it's going, yeah? So if you think about the story of the Logan Paul and his brother and blah, 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 it's a movie, and we're seeing the rags to riches. Well, they weren't really poor, but we're seeing that they come up. We're seeing the whole thing as it travels along, and this is the part of the movie. When they have the montage of like Scarface when everything's going well, right? Scarface is buying the cars and he blah 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 blah. That montage happens for a reason, because it's saying from this point onwards, it starts to dip, right? Because that's how life goes. Right, do you know what I mean? You have your montage of, oh my God, I can't believe all this is happening. And then life goes, okay, now it's time for you to step down because it's somebody else's go. Right, do you know what I mean? Now, how you step down is up to you to a degree, but you're going to step down. Right? So you can see that he's just fought Mike Tyson. Everybody's saying, oh my God, who are you going to call out? You're going to call out the dead now, because we kind of didn't like seeing what we saw. Right? But it happened and fine. Boxers really got vexed with that one, because Tyson represented so much for us, right? And when I say us, I don't mean me, but fighters. Tyson represented so much to the point where Tyson Fury was named after him. Like, that's how much Mike meant to the sport, right? Muhammad Ali, him are the two heavyweights that we revere in that way of his. Like, we've had other people, but those are the two. If you think about it, the only question people always pose is who would win out of Mike Tyson and Muhammad Ali in their prime, because those are the two people we love in heavyweight boxing. We love Lennox, we love all the other people in between, but those two, as we know historically, right? And then you beat Mike Tyson, no matter how much we think it was rigged or whatever we think. Even if Tyson is I'm fine, I don't care about legacy, we still do. We still do. And it left a sour taste in people's mouths, right? And I'm telling you, Jake's probably got 1 or 2 fights left before one of those fights goes, not today. I'm doing this to bring back an equilibrium to what the sport is. And I'm telling you, if it's Canelo or whomever, but you're going to see it happen in real time. And it's like watching a movie. It's going to happen, right? Because if it doesn't happen, then where are you taking this sport? Because in order for you to succeed, the sport of boxing has to be kind of mocked a little bit in a weird sort of way.
You know what? He is kind of doing it, because he's like an active fighter, but he's also promoting, marketing, businessman. So he's actually dealing with fighters like Amanda Serrano. That's
the part I do love, because all the undercards on that fight were brilliant, right? All the undercards on that fight were brilliant, right? And I respect what he's doing, because those people, the two women, the payday they got, right? Big. They've never had that in life, right? That part I respect. And I think if he's smart, he will step out and continue to do that. Because if you think about it, he's created a completely new platform, right, for these fighters who should get the respect and the pay that they're supposed to get. He's actually going, I'll pay you that. Right? How much did the girl get? She gets 6 million or something like that.
Yeah, 6 million each.
6 million each. She's never seen a payday like that in her life.
Never. More than Clarissa Shields, in fact. More than Clarissa Shields.
Exactly. 6 million. The girl's been fighting for years and never seen 6 million in one fight. Right? That's the part where I respect him highly and go, okay, if you're doing that, then yes. But in terms of your story, when it comes to fighting these greats, somebody's going to put a hurting on you, because technically they have to.
Yeah.
And that's not being horrible. If people listen, I've been in this game for so long. If people understood the essence of entertainment, you get, if you're lucky, and I promise you I'll leave you on this, you get, if you're lucky, 5 years, maybe 10 years if you're extremely lucky, at the top, where you're riding this crest of a wave. You can't do nothing wrong. Yeah. But eventually you reach a point where God or whomever you believe in says, it's time for you to step down now. It's time. Yeah. I know it's great. It's like pulling kids out of the toy room. I know you're enjoying yourself, but somebody else is now, it's their time to come in the room. You've got to leave. Right. And we've seen that story a million times, but it's like we forget the story when somebody new comes in. That's going to be the story. So if we even think about Drake and what's happening with Kendrick, right? What's happening with Drake would happen in many different ways. Like, the Superman universe, with the Motor universe, where Supergirl dies, and every time Flash comes back, she dies in a different way.
Yeah.
Drake's momentum is now start to calm down, because you've had 10 to 15 years at the top. It's just time.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that you're not going to be a legend. It doesn't mean that you're not going to make shitloads of money. It doesn't mean that you're going to be hated. But somebody else needs to come through now. Michael Jackson had the 80s, Eddie Murphy, the 80s and the 90s, right? Do you know what I mean? Where they could not be topped. And then eventually what happened? Right? Think about it. Bad Boys, Beverly Hills Cop came out on Netflix. Bad Boys came out a week before, 2 weeks before, and smashed it. No one really talks about the new Beverly Hills Cop, right? But it's not.
Yeah.
Think about it. But it's not that. It's not that all of a sudden Eddie Murphy's not good. Eddie, you've had your time. It's now time for the new guys. But you'll always be a legend. Does that make sense? Right? So, you know, that's why when Coming to America 2 came out, everybody was like, it wasn't as good. And it's like, it wasn't supposed to be. Because really, that was his time. He was making history at that time. Now he's going back and trying to revisit it. It's never going to be the same. Sure. Right? Do you know what I mean? Right? So the same thing with Drake, same thing with all these people that we looked at, we revered and blah, blah, blah. Right? It's your time. That's why Mike Tyson that's why Muhammad Ali said to Mike Tyson when he fought, was it Burbick? And he said, knock him out for me? Was it Burbick? Who was it?
No, was it, what's his name? Holmes. What's his name?
Larry Holmes.
Right? And he pulled him aside and said, do this one for me. Because Mike Tyson was, because at that point he knew, you're the new me. It's your time now. I can't knock this guy out. Do it for me. And Mike Tyson went, I've got it. I'll take it from here. That was the handing over of the baton, if you think about it. Then Mike Tyson rode his crest of a wave. Right? So when we see these things happening, we're not supposed to get vexed, and like people are not supposed to get vexed and go, "Rah, Drake's been hard done by blah blah blah." If it never happened this way, it would have happened in another way, because it's time now. Everybody has their go on the carousel. Everybody has their turn, and then it's time for you to get off. Right? It's somebody else's go. So Jake Paul, Logan, they're having their time right now, making shitloads of money. They're doing great things, right? But eventually, a boxer's going to come and do a madness because it's time. It's just time.
100%.
Right? And if people looked at life in the way they're supposed to, they wouldn't even get vexed. They'll just go, it's time. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Without getting too deep, I'm going to leave it on that. But
no, 100%. Look, we could say that it was the worst time.
No, but technically speaking, it looks like potentially it could be, and that's my point. Right, and if it is, that's not a bad thing on Anthony Joshua, because Anthony Joshua has done so much great. And here's the thing: I'm not writing Joshua off, because maybe Joshua's got another round. Who knows? But I'm saying, but eventually, Joshua's going to meet that place as well, because that's just life. Right, do you know what I mean? And Dubois, I do believe, if it's not now, but Dubois looks like he's going to have his time in the sun. He looks like he's going to have his time in the sun, and he deserves it because he's good.
100%. I agree with you. I think even Palamos Music said it in the chat. Yeah. His entrance for that fight. Come on, Richard. I know you got the entrance.
The old school. When he came into that tune, I said once again, my man's core is different. My man came in with the hardcore old school.
You know his dad was that, play this song before you come out.
The weirdest thing is that you can tell it's a tune that he grew up on, but you know his dad took that out the vinyl, not CD, the vinyl, and said, "Yo, boss, clear that track number 2." Right? All right. You know when the man has to go and put the vinyl down. When I heard that track, I'm not gonna lie, when I heard that track, I said, "Yo."
I knew it.
My man, remember Mr. T and Rocky, where he come out and it's a different thing? My man was training in the basement. There was no, remember when James Brown was singing Living in America and all that? It was like, no, it weren't all that, right? You know what I mean? My man ain't coming out when Apollo Creed, when he come out to Living in none of that. We're playing some hardcore, like real grimy reggae.
Even FK Breeze is saying, roared like a lion. He thought, shit. Yeah, man, of course. Did you not even hear what he said at the end? He was like, are you not entertained?
Once again, he's not a speaker. And this is why I'm saying he's a fighter, because even when he said that, we was like, right, he's a little bit, do you know what I mean? Right? But it's okay, because you are not an actor. You're not a speaker. You go in there and you knock people out. We don't expect nothing else from you.
100%. We agree with you, man. Just so raw. We've given the people, You know, we normally do half an hour shows, man. But
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
No. What?
It's a movie.
It's a movie.
4 minutes.
Yeah, man. Movie. It's a movie. It's a special. You delivered the special for us, man. So big up to you. God bless you. You know,
God bless.
You just blessed, you know, the channel with nothing but your energy and great vibes. I just wanted to take this last little bit as well to just say we've been, you know, nominated, you know, for the best combat sports podcast awards. So we're, you know, going to be involved. So guys, head over to the description, vote for us, because we're doing these shows for you guys, for your entertainment. Do you know what I mean?
Good.
This is a special right now, man. So big up to the people for supporting us. Big up to you, Chris, as well. Big up to the whole of the iBoxingHub family, because without them and without the community, we won't be able to do stuff like this, man. So big up, big up, big up, big up.
You got something good here. No, you really have. I'm not bullshitting. You got something good here. I reckon it's going to go very far. I really feel it, because being a guest on it, you don't want to come off. You feel like you feel like you're a part of something. And one of the things that you guys both do, right, which is very important, and I'll say this to YouTubers and stuff that are out there, is you allow the guest to speak, right? And people don't understand how important that is, right? When you have a guest on your show, yes, it's already your show, so you don't need to worry, right? But you don't need to steal the moment from the guest, because it's your show. So what you do is you allow them to just breathe, and it will get, and only intervene when you need to, right? And not a lot of people do that, but when you do it, it makes a big difference, because hence the people saying, "Oh, we love the show." It's because you're allowing the person to speak, right? You're allowing the person to you remember, you're saying, I want this person on to hear what they have to say, and then you're allowing them to do that. I'm not saying that you're not supposed to interject. At moments you're supposed to interject and have convos. Yes, you are, because that makes it even better, right? But if you feel that the person's on a flow, I notice you guys just sit back and go, he's on a flow, let him go, right? And that means that there's no egos involved. Does that make sense? Because ego will make you go, no, I want to grab that moment, but you're actually going, no, I'm just going to sit back. So I want to say that just from a professional standpoint, as a former presenter myself and blah, 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 that is something that not a lot of people know to do, but it's a great thing to do because it makes a difference. So well done to you guys.
No, big up to you, honestly. And Cuz, thank you so much for blessing the channel. You know, Richard, this is a legend. You know, I've got so much good things to say about Richard, man. Obviously, you saw the encounter, man, and that was a legendary moment. But I'm going to hand it over to yourself. Aisha's just reminding the people, vote. Just head over to the description. If you're loving these shows, like, share it, but vote as well. Like, we want to win so that we're able to do much more better shows, better experience for the community. We obviously want to give everyone a voice, but at the same time, just give them access. Show them something different, and this is what we're bringing to the show, man. So big up to you once again.
Bless you guys. Bless. Chris, we'll have our talks.
No worries, guys. You know, thank you for tuning in. Keep sharing, liking, and remember, subscribe. We need to get paid. AJ, don't forget Richard's watch and mine.
Bro, you never said yours. Let's not do that. Me first. Let's not do that.
No, you both have to get, because you both wear black vests. You both have to get.
My man's already put himself in the mix. Let's not do that.
Yeah, man.
Sorry, I don't know why you said that, Anthony. Sorry, I'm so sorry.
All right, guys. Peace and love.
Bless.
It's another band. All the Muslim cars now, whichever get up. I talk my card with a sweet one, please. Someone flips me up.